Portugal were always the favorites to win this thing, right? Hosting it, always the favorites. Believe me. When the semifinals began, I didn't know which way to predict this thing. Seriously, go back and check. I did not make a single prediction video for the semifinals, nor the third place match, nor the final, because to be completely honest, I didn't know who was going to win. I really did not know, because England looked good, Switzerland looked good, the Dutch looked amazing, and Portugal, they looked resolute. They looked like they were the team that knows how to get the job done. And they did so once again after winning Euro 2016. So after never winning any international honors, they have now won 2 in a row. What's next? Another Euro? A World Cup? Guys, we never know. With the form that this team has shown under Fernando Santos, who's doing a great job with this team. I don't know if he will be around for World Cup 22. He is up there in age. I don't know if he'll be around. We can't foretell the future. But this team is young. It's talented. Well, I'm not talking about Jose Font and Pepe and Cristiano Ronaldo and João Moutinho, but the other guys that's playing around these players are very, very young, and they are impressive. They are impressive. 1-0. Portugal wins the inaugural UEFA Nations League final. A 60-minute goal by Gonçalo Guedes, the Valencia man, set up by the Man City player Bernardo Silva. Remember how brilliant Bernardo Silva was versus Switzerland, and he showed up again today. And he proved to be Portugal's most important player on the night. Gotta give it to him. I'm going to give Bernardo Silva man of the match. Not Cristiano Ronaldo. He was not that promising today like he usually is. But Bernardo Silva, oh my God. That cutback that left the Dutch defense in a whole spot of bother. And then Gonçalo Guedes, his shot. Really powerful shot that Cillessen got a really good hand on it and couldn't even stop it. If you go back and watch the replay, the slow-mo was showing that Cillessen got a good palm on that ball, but it bent it back. Really, really good stuff by Gonçalo Guedes, who hasn't really lived up to expectations, but he is still young and he is showing how much potential he has. He came in today for João Felix, and that proved to be the right move. We also saw Jose Font coming in for the injured Pepe and Danilo coming back from suspension for the young Ruben Neves. And that proved to be the X factor today. Fernando Santos and those changes proved to be the right moves. And it results in a trophy. Not many managers could say they win international accolades, but Fernando Santos and Portugal has now lifted 2 in a row. As for the Dutch, they must feel hard done. They must feel hard done. World Cup 1974, 78, 2010, all got to the finals, lost. They did win Euro 1988, and they got to the finals again here. And it's not good. It's not a good experience for the Dutch fan. Not a good experience for the Dutch fans at all. We recently saw Ajax getting knocked out of the Champions League versus Tottenham semi-final, and that wasn't a good feeling for the Ajax fans, and most of them are Dutch fans, so it's like a double whammy right there. So my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. But on the night, Portugal were the better team. Netherlands, they didn't make any changes going into this game, and I thought they could have started with Donny van de Beek and Quincy Promes, maybe instead of Ryan Babel and Martin de Roon. That's just what I think. The rest of the players I was okay with, but I just think if they had that injection early on in the game to start with, it could have proved to be the difference today. Netherlands started the game really well. They kept the ball well, and I was like, okay, they're looking good. But Portugal began to play themselves into the game around the half-hour mark, and they started to test Cillessen. they began to test Silesen time after time after time. And they were looking the most likely to score first. The Dutch hardly had any opportunities in the first half. Hardly. I can't even remember. Not to criticize the team too much, but the fact that you had William Carvalho, Danilo, and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, it worked like a charm, man. This guy, Bruno Fernandes, he tormented the Dutch team today. You don't have to agree with me, but he got some really good shots off. He tested Silesen. Whoever gets Bruno Fernandes, they're lucky. He packs a punch from distance. He could hit it with right, he could hit it with left. This guy is good. He was one of the best performers for Sporting in the Portuguese league this season. And his form has transitioned nicely into the national team. This Portuguese team is so freaking talented. It finished 0-0 at the halftime break, and I think Portugal were on top at that time. I think they were on top. Coming into the second half, the Netherlands, they made a change. They brought on Quincy Promes, and then a little after, Van de Beek came on, and they began to play themselves into the game. They looked better. But Portugal, on the breakaway, they were caught out. The Dutch were caught out. Bernardo Silva, he first got a flick on. I think it was by Guedes, and then Guedes continued his run. But Bernardo Silva, man, that sense of presence and mindfulness to just lift up your head and just flick the ball back. Not to be selfish and try to go forward. Flick the ball back in the path of Guedes, who's just his movement and everything was right. His shot beat Silesen. The Dutch were always under pressure in this game. I was messaging my Dutch friend on Instagram and I was telling him the Dutch are under pressure. And I know they could get out of pressure, which they almost did, but they failed to beat Rui Patricio. They had a few opportunities. I could remember a header. It was by Depay, a header, but he hit it straight to Rui Patricio. That was their best chance to score. There was a few more other instances where it got a little nervy in the back there for Portugal, but all in all, they had control of this. They were in control of this game. Ruben Diaz, the young defender, he did really well today, and we could see why a lot of teams are after him. Joseph Font, he was really resolute today. Rafael Guerreiro, quiet role, but he played well. Nelson Semedo, he was brilliant. A Barcelona man, was really good today. Carvalho, these guys have quiet roles in the midfield, but very effective. Himself and Danilo, very, very effective. Very effective. And then after the goal scored, what did Fernando Santos do? He brought on Rafa Silva, the Benfica man, who just injected pace into this team. And he began to torment the Dutch. That guy is fast. And I've spoken about Rafa Silva before. I admire this guy. Someone may pick him up sooner or later. And then Fernando Santos brought in João Moutinho, experience and guile, to just put this game to bed. Ronald Koeman tried his last card by bringing on Luke de Jong, who had a few look-ins, but he was ineffective in hindsight. But Santos won the game today. Strategically, he was better today. He was better. We saw Ruben Neves coming on late at the end there, and Portugal held on for the win despite all the Dutch efforts. The Dutch weren't bad today. They did not play bad. They really didn't play bad. But going forward, they just lacked that cutting edge. No heavy criticism of Depay and guys like Bergwijn, Promise, guys like Babel. I'm not heavily criticizing these guys right now, but the Dutch needs that out and out striker that's gonna give you goal after goal. They need that, and I think that's what they lack. A Van Persie, a Van Nistelrooy type of striker. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys agree with me? Because I think I'm spot on. I like Memphis, but he might be more effective playing wider. But Portugal, man, don't take nothing away from Portugal. They were brilliant. They haven't lost at home in like 13 games. And in their last 9 games, they have gone unbeaten. They're not an easy team to beat. They're not easy to break down. They might rub out a lot of draws and not look so impressive doing so. But we know what this team is capable of doing. The last time they were at a final in Portugal was versus Greece. They lost that. Euro 2004. They weren't going to make that mistake again. And in Euro 2016, Ronaldo had to cheer on from the sidelines. He had to witness a dare scoring that goal. But today, he was on the field, played the 90, and he lifted another trophy with Portugal. So congratulations to Portugal, man. They played well. They played well, and they are the champions of the first ever UEFA Nations League title. So what's next for Portugal? Euro 2020. They have to continue building this very, very good team. They have a lot of talent. They have to keep integrating the young players into the team so the old players could, transition out nicely into retirement. And who knows, they could maybe successfully defend their European title. But as for the Dutch again, man, my heart goes out for you. You played really well. You entertained us. You were impressive. But Ronald Koeman has to continue working with this team, with Virgil van Dijk and De Ligt and De Jong. We see Blind vastly improved since he left Man United. Cillessen, I have never been totally impressed with Cillessen, to be completely honest. I haven't, to be honest, but he's the best, maybe the best they have. But Dumfries and these guys gotta continue working with them. Bergwijn, Promise, one of my favorite players. Depay, gotta be patient with Depay. Van der Beek, De Roon, and they have to continue integrating the young players into the team. But guys, early on we saw England defeating Switzerland 6-5 in a penalty shootout after the game ended 0-0 after extra time. And they are the third place team in the UEFA Nations League. So we have Portugal first, the Dutch second, England third, and the Swiss fourth. But England, man, gritty team. I had England in my mind. I didn't really let it out my mind too much to go on to win this tournament. Didn't happen so. Lost to the Dutch. They didn't play well in the semis, but they were better in the third place match. Should have won within 90 minutes, but they missed a lot of chances. Dele Alli, Raheem Sterling, Callum Wilson. But in the penalty shootout, something that they have never been good at historically. They did it at the World Cup with Jordan Pickford pulling off big save. And they did it today with Jordan Pickford. Jordan Pickford taking one of the penalties. How audacious is this guy? The balls on this guy. To take off your gloves and face the opposite goalkeeper to score. To score a screamer of a penalty. And then to go back, get beaten, and then pull off a save to win the bronze medal for your team. Bravo. The tournament has been awesome. I covered it from the beginning, even made a video explaining what the tournament is, and it has now come to an end. It will be back in 2021. But if you guys want to go back and reminisce, I have a playlist made, a UEFA Nations League playlist, where I covered everything, and I'm glad I did. Hard work always pays off. But thanks to everyone who has been on this UEFA Nations League journey with me from wherever you are in the world. Really appreciate it. Congrats to Portugal again. Hard luck to the Dutch. try harder England, come better Switzerland. And guys, that's all from your boy Dominic Rich. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Road to 24K is in full effect. Slap a fat like on the video. And in the comment section down below, let me know if I missed any big talking points, because I can't talk about everything. So guys, thanks for watching. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad.